Yes.
I'm just trying to be a cameraman.
Cool, and just go ahead and start sparring, and I'll watch and judge.
You're gonna watch me get spanked by Talon for the next 10 minutes. Yeah. That's why I chose you, because I can't find
This right here, only.
Yeah. I picked the weapon I am most uncomfortable fighting. I picked the training. Alright. Dead. Dead. There you go, baby. Just come mounted. That's good. That's good. So beautiful.
So I'm gonna check.
I'm so sorry.
it.
Real quick, while you're pausing. I'm gonna go. I just said Okay, bring it in! Right.
I didn't mean you.
What I told everybody was kind of the same thing. I started this with something that makes me anxious, knowing that people are judging me. I get in my own head and I fight like shit. If I play jokes, not only because it's fun, but it gets you out of your head. It makes it a game, not a fight. It's important for both you and your partner. So I'm curious, partners who I talked to the second time around, when they did their joke, did it lighten it for you too? Thumb scale, super yes, totally, oh, it disrespected me, I was grumpy and shit. Can I see?
I like animation.
Okay, so nobody felt disrespected. It's safe to joke here. We're here to have fun even when it's serious. So in a tournament, it's a bit, more serious. We're not joking, but you can still, do some stuff. Still keep it lighthearted. You will fight better. You will get more out of your head. That's the first thing I wanted to establish. It is hard to start the joke when you're in your head. So just become part of your normal routine to have fun with it. To not always be a brick, right? So that's my first tidbit of thing, and also my introduction of establishing a baseline of something that makes me anxious. So the next thing is so the next thing is another kind of a thing. Imagine you're counting your losses, right? So we're gonna go ahead and not do this because there's not very many people here, and I want to get things rolling. I'm just gonna kind of explain this, but think about your mini wins. So we've sparred a bit, so I'll talk a bit, but for a miniature win, it's not about winning the whole fight. So the game I was playing with myself in the single blue stuff was not getting killed by a hip scoop, and also saying it aloud also as part of my joke. So I didn't really care about winning the fight. I mean, I didn't want to lose, but I wanted to not die from a hip scoop. Think about that, and if you block the hip scoop or you die to something else, you won your little game, right? Are there any other little games you guys tend to play? Let's go.
I try to play don't win, but don't breaking the shield. Everyone expects a red sword fighter to leg you and break your shield. I'm like, that's boring.
Yeah.
What if I didn't?
Any other little wins, new Mike?
Don't throw high cross.
Yeah, little win.
I have a double thing, but it's also a magic trick.
Yeah.
Because whenever, especially when we're doing single blues and I throw a stab, I shout stab.
Yes.
And it hits because I shouted stab.
Yes. And that's both a joke and a little win.
Yes.
Yes. Continuing?
Don't go get hit in my elbows.
Yeah.
Don't push your elbows out.
Yep.
I like to make people get off balance, so I stand square and I stand this way, just go off balance. It makes it fun for me.
Nice. Yeah.
I count the actual points that I take, so shields count as kills, limbs count as kills, just anything I can hit on the opponent.
Awesome. Yes.
Spin to win.
Spin to win. So a lot of these things I heard involve don't do blah. So think about do blah instead of don't do blah. It's more positive and it's just, some mind bullshit, right? But instead of don't get hit in the elbow, block an elbow shot. Or stand an offensive guard that protects my elbows, right? Because they might just be good enough to hit you in the elbows no matter what, right? You don't want it to be a game somebody else can make you lose. You want it to be a game you can win. it's still a hard game, right? So anyway, that's kind of my second thing. So I have some cards to do some like building some things. Me. So come gather around so you can see my bullshit. So we train ourselves just like you train pretty much anything, with punishments and rewards. And the biggest thing I found that helps fighting stay fun and also get good and get out of my head is to make the fighting itself a reward, not a punishment. So I kind of go through and brainstorm some ideas of punishments and rewards of fighting. So there are some obvious things. Can anybody holler an obvious potential punishment in fighting and a potential reward in fighting? Yeah.
Doing push-ups if you hit someone.
No, this is in the nature of the fighting itself.
Winning and losing.
Winning and losing is the pretty typical one. So we have win and lose. So that's the most basic punishment. It just sucks because if you're losing, you get punished for fighting. And if you want to get good, you want to reward yourself for fighting. This is why it's the innate trap. Okay? Any other pretty obvious punishments in fighting?
Getting styled on.
Getting styled on? I can write that. Okay. Does that feel like a punishment when you get styled on?
It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. Yeah. Okay. How about is there a matching reward?
You learn something.
Oh, learning is a great reward. Alright, just keep hollering. Popcorn them up.
Sitting on the sidelines if you die early.
Yes, punishment. Dying. Well, that's not for fighting. That's for losing.
Never mind.
The reward is fighting itself then. So fun. Reward is you get to play.
Reward progress. Like seeing your own progress.
Okay.
When you lose a limb, you have to fight different after you lose the limb.
So is this a punishment for getting hit?
So
or
yeah,
a
so
reward?
the punishment is losing a limb, but the reward for losing a limb is working on a different way of fighting. Right, so like if I have to switch arms, then now I have to fight lefty.
Can I holler fun?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
fighting itself a reward because it's fun? How about getting hit? Doesn't that sound like a punishment? Isn't that normally a punishment
Yeah.
for most people? So I'm actually going to put this, I'm going to talk about hitting as kind of both. So, you know, masochism, sadism aside, well, that's still a fair thing. It is exciting to know that this could have hurt and you block it, and you only know it could have hurt by getting hit and it fucking hurting, right? So that in itself is a reward for fighting, that you get to avoid this pain, right? Unless you're just straight up like, and then there's also, I don't want to cause harm to my friends, and I am fighting with my friends. So there's also a punishment in hitting them. And there's also a punishment to getting hit because you get fucking hit, right? So this is a tricky one. So this is why fighting in itself is such a mind game. Even if you don't realize it, most people have been taught hitting bad, getting hit bad. Getting hit means they don't like me. I hit somebody I don't like. Or it's bad to hit, I'm bad if I hit somebody, right? It's got such a negative connotation that's so ingrained in us because it's important to ingrain in people. But it's important to